we want to have our conversation about the funds that you received on the Title III, from the Title III grant. Specifically, what is the hardware or software that you received for this, with these funds?
We received wireless internet capabilities for the education building.
Okay. And what brought you to the decision, you and or your faculty, to make the decision that you needed this?
First of all, several of the other buildings, academic buildings and other spaces across campus already had wireless access. And we feel like it's very important for education to keep up with, at least keep up with, the other sectors on campus. In fact, that's a requirement of our accreditation body. We just went for national accreditation by NCATE, and we'll have the results this spring. But one of the standards is that we have to be treated equitably as far as resources, funding, and that kind of thing. So we really needed it, first of all for accreditation, but also just because we wanted it for to enhance the educational programming of our majors, and our students need access because we have found that to be helpful since acquiring wireless access for our students sometimes to be online even in the middle of a class. Okay. And they are engaged in a topic being discussed, and they can Google something and present new information, information that will help the whole class.
So you can have like an in-class conversation.
Absolutely. That's the way students today learn. Yeah. And so we think that we need to find different ways to engage digital learners.
Yes. I think that's a very accurate need that you've pointed out. Were there any alternative ideas that you had that you wanted to apply for?
We're interested now in obtaining some iPads for our supervisors. And these are full-time and part-time faculty who go into the field and supervise our student teachers and our graduate interns during their clinical experience. We actually have an opportunity to participate in a pilot offered by a company in Nashville, piloting a new software for the new teacher observation evaluation for the whole state of Tennessee.
This is kind of the data collecting software?
Yes. And it requires iPads. And so they have agreed to train our supervisors to let us use the software, to give them feedback to improve their application. But we have to get some iPads in order to do that.
Well, then that needs to be the next one on your,
absolutely,
on your application.
So that's one idea.
One of, okay. What was another? Give me another one.
Well, for example, we would like to equip more of our classrooms with the active boards. We're seeing more and more of our faculty using them more and more effectively. In our area school systems, every classroom now has an active board, and so we have to prepare our students to use them when they go into the schools.
So they're ready for what their environment will be.
Absolutely.
How many students would you say that in a given year having wireless access would affect? And just
my goodness,
an approximate number. Let's say just your majors alone.
Okay. Teacher education majors, we have close to a fourth of the campus population. So we have close to 1,000 students in teacher education any given year.
And that, would you count that also as your grad students because it influences
Graduate
affects
and
them?
undergraduate, and also students in all majors take classes in our building. So you could even go broader than
Yeah.
teacher education students.
So 1,000 or more.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so the active boards, do you foresee them being used in? Well, let me back off of the active boards.
Okay.
Cut that part out.
Give you another idea.
Back to the iPads.
Okay.
When it comes to the iPads, will supervisors, how many are there in the field?
Oh my goodness. Well, we have about 20 supervisors, but some of them supervise heavier loads, so we wouldn't start with 20 iPads probably. We would share
Yeah.
and have them available to check out when they go supervise students.
Since all 20 may not be in the field
That's
simultaneously.
right. That's right.
That sounds that would be effective.
We're also interested in direct video conferencing capabilities. We just submitted a proposal for a linkage agreement with a university in Iraq.
Oh,
And
that's so interesting.
we have no idea if it will be approved, of course, but if it is,
Then you have to have the equipment to
that
support.
would be an integral part of the grant, direct video conferencing to other classrooms in Iraqi universities.
That's exciting.
Yes.
So, when it comes to the wireless, my next question is to tell me how pleased you are. I gather that you've been very pleased. Have you found any matters of it interfering, having internet access as an interference in the classroom?
No, we're extremely pleased with the wireless access in our building. I don't see any downside. Teachers are learning how to take advantage of that capability.
Versus let it take over the class.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Students are pleased. We have capabilities of a secure network and an unsecured access, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
And so it seems to meet the needs of everyone.
Excellent. My next question was going to be how you would see this to just, and how you would describe this to affect your students' learning. But I think you well answered that in that the teachers are taking advantage of the students having the access
Yes.
and developing the lessons around and to help the students funnel the use.
Right.
Would that be an accurate?
That's very accurate. I teach methods primarily, and such a big part of teacher training now is being able to locate appropriate resources, and so many of them are online. So we may spend a segment of a class trying to find appropriate internet resources for teaching elementary math, for example. So that is a very effective use of classroom time.
Yeah, and they're learning how to find just the whole tool of finding information,
Right.
and what are the and I'm sure that those sites are some they can add to their
Yes.
list of items to
Another,
tools for the future.
and another good use of the class time is to pull up some resources and then evaluate them.
So, and that's going right towards our, I believe it's critical thinking skill number 2.
Yes, absolutely.
Evaluating information.
Very important for
content,
teachers,
yes.
because
Very
the resources are out there.
Oh, accurate and inaccurate,
Some
off
good
and on.
some
Yeah.
very poor. They need to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and we will have this taken care of.
Thank you.